Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program where everything is up for discussion. You got me, Jeff,
And me,
alongside
Shannon.
my little co-host, who is a former television international TV star,
Oh my God, we still talking
an
about that?
author.
No.
You put the Shan in Shan cakes, and tonight we're calling you Sniffleupagus.
I have a cold.
What's going on with you?
I don't know who made me sick.
It is flu season now, and you
Every November
bear
and
it
March,
full brunt.
I have a cold.
Apparently
like
so.
clockwork,
You sound
so.
like crap.
I feel like crap. Thank you.
You don't look like crap, though.
That's makeup.
Nah, there you go.
I don't know why you don't get sick.
I never get sick. I've never
heck?
gotten sick. I don't get sick. I have
I've seen you get sick,
incredible
but
immune system from hell.
I think in 13 years you've been sick once.
Yeah.
You never get colds.
Very
You never
rare.
have the flu. You barely barf. You can drink me into the table any day and you're not puking my brains out like I am.
Very rarely. That's the barfing part is good training. That's what that is. But the rest of it is just good genes, good immune system. Because true story, back in my late 20s, I had a fever of unknown origin for about 30 some odd days. I had 103 plus fever, and I thought I was going to die. And ever since then, I've had no cold, no sniffles to speak of, just maybe once in a blue moon. So I guess what doesn't kill you does make you stronger, right?
You weren't ready yet.
I wasn't ready.
God wasn't done with you.
Of course not. Of course not.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't die.
Well, as you can see, I'm wearing my Merry Christmas T-shirt.
I see
because
that.
we have officially now skipped over Thanksgiving, and it pisses me off, so this is kind of a protest. You go into the stores now, and all you hear is Christmas music. You turn on the radio,
been a
you hear
week,
Christmas
yeah.
music. And now, when is it actually cool now to put up your Christmas tree? When is like the day that people are now putting up their trees? 'Cause it used to
Well,
be like,
people who put it up sooner than later start bragging about it. Like, people on Facebook are already like, look what we did last weekend. Pictures of the Christmas tree.
well, it
Because
used to
everyone's
be-
going to go, oh,
it used to
you
be the
shouldn't do
day
that.
after Thanksgiving. Used to be the day to put up the Christmas
Well,
tree.
that's why
That was
your
like
parents had
Black
theirs
Friday.
up 24
Wow.
hours a day, 7 days a week,
You didn't know my
365 days a year. They keep theirs up full
But,
time.
But I mean, like now, it used to be the day after Thanksgiving, but now, like, when is it cool actually to put up your Christmas tree?
Most
When does the Christmas season actually
Most
start?
people do it the day after Thanksgiving.
But apparently not anymore. Everybody's listening to Christmas music, and people are already putting up their trees and decorations.
We should have done it in
Stuff's out
October,
the-
just so we can post pictures of it and go, ah, look what
Stuff's
we
out
got
in the
done.
stores pretty soon. I mean,
Well,
Thanksgiving's already a forgotten holiday pretty soon. I hate to say it, but Halloween could be a
We're
forgotten
2 holidays
holiday.
ahead.
What the hell could we? What would happen if Halloween was a forgotten holiday?
Pretty soon they're going to have Christmas stuff out before Halloween stuff. It's just, they just want to push it as much as possible. We've already had all kinds of sales, and it's just ridiculous. I don't drink the Kool-Aid every year. I just want to get my tree up because I know I'm not going to have any time to do it any other day after Thanksgiving.
And pretty soon, there's like all the stores are going to be open on Christmas. Black Friday's not going to mean shit anymore because every day is going to be like a sale day. And
Why don't we have
the
a
whole
White
thing
Friday?
just says- A White Friday, Black Friday.
Why is it Black Friday?
Because White Fridays matter, right? I think so. Why shouldn't they?
We should have more white holidays.
I think so. Well, you and I, we like to people watch. We like to, say
Oh, no, I
so-and-so
do.
looks
You do not
people.
like to.
Sure we do. We
No, you
sit
get
there-
mad when I do.
We sit there every morning, and stop being a douche. We sit there every morning.
You hate people watching. You hate when I do that.
And we say so-and-so looks like
Call me a
so-and-so.
douche.
And we
My
always
shirt.
we always look for like, what's wrong? You hating on my Merry Christmas T-shirt? This is making a statement right here. because
Okay, Mr. Starbucks.
I'm officially going to be Merry Christmas because it's not Happy Holidays. It's Christmas. It is Christmas. And even if we're not going to acknowledge Thanksgiving anymore, I'm going to acknowledge Christmas. And if I have to wear this T-shirt every single show until Christmas Day, I will. And that's what I'll do to acknowledge Christmas because it is more than just a holiday. It is Christmas. Right, Sean?
It's Thanksgiving's in 2 weeks. Let's just do
But
that.
we're officially into the Christmas spirit, so that's what we're going to do.
Are we?
We're
I
gonna
can't even
acknowledge
believe I have to
Christmas.
go Christmas shopping. I just envisioned handing everybody an envelope. Here you go, enjoy.
Oh, guys, we have a very, very great show for you tonight. We've got a lot to get to, including, and we do people watch, Shannon. We do people watch, and we see so-and-so looks like so-and-so all the time. So with that said, we're going to talk about doppelgangers tonight a little bit later in the show. We've got a very, very special Who Does That with you, of course, Miss Shannon Sylvia.
Yay.
And what do you think? I know maybe we'll go to the chat room here and take any calls, but this is a very significant day back in 1969. What do you think happened in 1969 on this day? Do you have any idea?
Hippies were doing the free love thing.
Well, of course they were. They were doing that all of 1969. But on this day in 1969 was the very first ever Muppets broadcast on PBS in 1969. And that
Muppets?
right there is the original Muppets cast, the Sesame Street cast. I'm sorry. Ever Muppets and, of course, Sesame Street. But that's the original Sesame Street cast. We see Big Bird and Oscar and Bert and Ernie and a bunch of people. And that was the very first ever Sesame
I'm just
Street
so confused because
cast.
Muppets is a whole other show.
Well, Muppets were part of Sesame Street, so that was the very first ever Muppets / Sesame
Wow,
Street.
so they were still fledglings when I was just an infant watching that
They
stuff,
were.
huh?
They were indeed. They were indeed. So, if you guys remember, it was like Electric Company, it was Sesame Street, and Zoom. If you were way back in the day on PBS, those were the three staples. If you were a kid, you used to watch those three shows. Did you ever catch the Electric Company?
I used to watch it religiously.
That was your
Electric
show?
Company.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your thing?
I liked the Electric Company. The Great Space Coaster.
Yeah, that was a little after
The
my
Great
time,
Space
though.
Coaster. Gem and the Holograms.
Yeah.
Fraggle Rock. I watched
Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock. That was
Yeah.
a Jim Henson thing.
Yeah.
I did
yeah.
watch the Muppets.
Okay.
But I watched a lot of TV when I was a kid.
Do you remember Zoom? Zoom was a big show.
No,
on
we
PBS.
talked about that last show. No, you watched Zoom before I did.
All right.
Zoom was older.
Now, do you know back in the archives of Leominster Television, there are a couple original Zoom T-shirts, the striped T-shirts, because a couple of our staff members used to actually be part of that crew on Channel 2. They used to have Zoom.
Wow.
So they have some of that memorabilia, if you will, stashed away in the vaults
Worth
and the
money.
archives. I think we ought to put it in the time capsule. It'd be pretty
Just
cool.
because somebody worked on the set of Zoom.
Oh, yeah. Well, Zoom was like a staple. It was an iconic show back
Sure, there's a
then.
Hollywood time capsule out there.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a Leominster time capsule. So there you go. It is Veterans Day. We want to make sure that this week we acknowledge all of our veterans. We want to thank you for your service to our country. Without you, we would not have the liberties and freedoms that make America great. And for your sacrifice, we thank you so much, and we will throughout this show. And we do encourage you guys to call us into the show, 323-902-6661. And somebody that takes full advantage of that, Shannon, is our little buddy JT. And JT has been calling us. If I can find his, I got to find his thing here. Well, all right. Well, we'll try to get to what JT thinks.
What
in just a
JT
little
thinks.
bit. Yeah, I'm going to try to get to what JT thinks here in just a second. I've got to go to some conversations, some old conversations, because JT called in a little while ago, so it's kind of tough to find JT right now. So we'll have to get back to JT, because JT was a regular caller on the show, and he always has something interesting to say. I think he was going to talk about Halloween, which was pretty exceptional. So now
I wonder if he gives out candy.
Well, speaking of Veterans Day, while we get JT on the phone here, speaking of Veterans Day, tomorrow is, of course, Veterans Day, and with Veterans Day comes patriotism. And you know I'm a huge sports fan, Shannon. I get into sports. You know, like you're all googly and gaga over all the Hollywood stars and the movie stars and the TV stars. And I conversely get that way over sports figures. So, you know, sports to me is a big deal. I mean, you know, sports franchises are a big deal. Growing up watching, you know, these icons in sports to me were a great deal. And I'm a little pissed off these days. And the reason I'm pissed off is because you remember, like, you see, like, at Fenway Park, and I know you don't watch a lot of sports, but I know you can remember and identify with when they come out and they have, like, all of the, you know, the servicemen and women that come out. And, and you know, they
singing and formations.
Of course, and they're honoring servicemen and women. Well,
flyovers.
Guess what? I thought that was from the goodness of the heart of, like, you know, the teams and the leagues around here that make millions and millions and millions of dollars off of the fans that pay the ticket prices and support the teams and the franchises. Well, they're paying for that too, and it's called paid patriotism. And unfortunately, that's what's rampant right now in this country, and that's what's all the talk. And you know, that's taxpayer money.
Yeah,
$6.8 million
Who knew?
last year.
Why is this news all of a sudden? Like, why? How come we didn't know this before? How?
Well, it's funny.
It makes no sense.
Last year, we paid $6.8 million of taxpayer-funded contracts.
And we don't know this stuff. We don't know where our money goes. Do we get a
Apparently.
list at the end of the year saying you paid for this, you paid for that? No, we don't get lists. How do
Apparently
we
we don't.
not vote on something like this?
Well, it's funny because this year they've budgeted $10 million for paid patriotism. And to me, that's a crock of shit. If you're a franchise, a sports franchise in this country, commanding the ticket prices that you do, and you're getting paid to participate in a sport and get paid millions and millions of dollars. Why? Because you have soldiers out there, like we're going to honor tomorrow, that are out there fighting for your freedom so that you can get paid to play a game. It's that simple. Why in the world would you turn around and charge these same soldiers and these same organizations? This is the this is the Pentagon, by the way. This is the Defense Department that is paying to the tune of close to $10 million this year to have soldiers marched out on the field. And those are the ones that have the one leg. You know, the guys that have had their leg blown off for this cause? They still have to pay. They still have to pay to go out there and fly a flag like this, ladies and gentlemen. To go out there and participate and show your patriotism now costs money. And to me, it's disgusting. It just tainted all of sports for me. And I think there's going to be a change, Shannon. I think people are pissed off enough to where people are going to make a stink about this. And you're going to see some franchises kind of hunker down and make this a thing of the past. And I hope so. I hope there's never another bill sent to the Defense Department or the Pentagon to honor the soldiers that are over there giving up their families, their lives, taking up arms, and going against the bad guys, while those bad guys are trying to kill them, to support your freedoms and your liberty so that you can play a game and get paid tens of millions of dollars.
Well, there was an Army general. Somebody actually asked the guy, like, why is the military paying all this money so that they can do celebrity appearances, if you'll call it that, at these football games and ball games? And the military guy was saying that it's advertising for the military. It inspires people to be new recruits.
Well, it is, but
don't we have recruiting officers?
With that said, of course, it's recruiting, and of course, it should show some form of wanting to be involved in the military. But guess what? That should be on the house. There should not be any charge for that. I don't care what you call it or how you package that up. That should be definitely on the house.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, with everything going on in today's world, who would want to even sign up to be a soldier if you couldn't get a little bit of a thank you when you get home? And I think if you ask any of our veterans that are out there serving for our military, the thing that means the most to them is a thank you when they come home. God bless you, my little sniffleupagus. I'm so sad for you. It sucks. So, guys, if you care about your country like I do and you care about sports like I do, you will find this an atrocity as I do. And you will write your congressman, you will protest at sporting events, and you will do whatever it is and whatever it takes to make sure that patriotism in this country is no longer something that is paid for. That is something that is extremely important. This is the bloodline and the lifeline to America and what makes us great. And I think that there should be a cost for that is already paid by the soldiers that go overseas and give up their families and their lives.
And another thing that, of course, you're right about that, but another thing that kills me is that my tax dollars are paying for this. So why isn't that something being given back to me? No, I still have to spend $300 on a Patriots ticket. Why, because you don't like
sports? Oh, you should get season tickets for that is what you're pushing for.
I mean,
right?
Why? So the stadiums are profiting mass millions of dollars from these people, from the government, and how are they giving back that money? Are they donating it all to charity? Are they taking any overages and giving it back to the people somehow? Or having like a Veterans Day free game for people? No.
I think that they should take that budget, that $6.8 million as it was last year, and the $10+ million that they budgeted for this year. What they should do with that budget, Shannon, they should go and donate it to homeless veterans, like we talked about last week.
Just do something with it.
1 in 4 homeless people in this country is a veteran. Yet you're going to charge big money to have a big old flag put out on an NFL stadium.
Yeah.
While people are paying $300 for a ticket. It's disgusting, and it pisses me off. But you know what? We do have JT, and people that do call in do utilize this number, as we're going to prove right now. It's time, Shannon, to find out what JT thinks.
Oh, thank God.
Hello, Jeff and Shannon. JT from L.A. That's right, Shannon. The Lumister Halloween area. Every year, JT gives out about 10 bags of candy where I live. Well, I've seen a lot of good costumes this year, but I have to say, the best costume I've seen was on TV, on The View. They had a little kid dressed up as Tom Brady. He looked like a young Tom Brady.
Oh, gee.
And he had his little brother, dressed up as a deflated football.
No way.
I think the realms of Deflategate has entered the realms of pop culture. That's just what JT thinks. Oh, by the way, Shannon, I like you as Sia. You really look cute.
I can't believe he knew
You
that.
look cute. Bye-bye.
JT, how the hell do you know what Sia is?
Get a big fan, Shannon. Get that blonde wig going on, and I've actually have a small list of people that want to rent that wig for me from time to time because they would like to prop it on their wives.
They can rent it all they want. I paid
see what their
$5
wives
for
look
it.
like in that little blonde wig.
It was the cheapest Halloween costume ever.
I say, you look
I
just
feel
like
bad
him.
for the kids that had to be Tom Brady in the football. These kids probably have no idea what it means. They just wanted to be Batman and Superman, and their dreams and aspirations were taken away because of a sports fan.
Best costume this year was a guy that had his head stuffed through what apparently is a super long receipt.
You were
Went
saying
down
that,
to
but
the
I want to
floor.
see a picture
This
of it.
picture, it had a whole thing up above his head and went down to the floor, and it was one of those CVS receipts that you get when you go in there for a pack of gum, and they give you a freaking receipt this big. It's longer than anything you filled out to
What
ever
is the
put a mortgage
deal
on
with
a
that?
house.
And why do they have to be
What's
so
wrong with
big?
CVS?
Why can't you make something half the size of that and then just... It's ridiculous. You have a machine that you can scan your card if you want coupons, and
You've
it doesn't
already
even matter because
got
you're
my
going to get the
stupid
mile-long coupons
CVS
after.
tag, for God's sakes. You've already said, are you a CVS member? Well, yeah, I give you my tag. There's no reason to give me
Well,
a
that's
receipt.
in case you
Damn
buy
long.
duct tape and rubber gloves and acid and big
Yeah, that's
barrels, and then they can go back and the investigators will say, well, what did he buy that day? Oh, well, he bought murder
Apparently,
stuff,
to CVS, he purchased rubber gloves,
Rope.
duct tape, rope,
bungee
some
cords.
cyanide, and a
trash
50-gallon
bags.
barrel.
No, that's exactly why they do it, because
Of
they just
course
want to
they
catch
do.
stupid people doing stupid things, because it's all traceable.
Of course they do.
That's
Of
why they
course
want your card, so you don't go out and kill people.
They say it's for discounts, you know, like we buy so much stuff and we're going to give you incredible discounts on CVS crap. You know, the only thing right now, CVS, that really like excites me is you can go there and you can get any gift card you want. Like you used to be able to go to Home Depot or Lowe's or something. Now you can go to CVS and you can do like major shopping for
We're
gift
so
cards and
lazy.
stuff. I know. It's now come to this. We either order on Amazon or we order you a gift card because it's the right size, it's the right color, and I don't have to stand in line.
I
and
get
battle all
Amazon
the
gift
douchebags
cards.
for
I
it.
just print them from my printer. Boom. Christmas is
And
done.
it's done.
Who doesn't
It's
want
done.
an Amazon gift card?
Amazing.
I know I do.
All
I
right.
don't have time to shop.
No.
This year, your shopping's gonna suck. I
Why is
spoiled
that?
you last year, so this year you get nothing.
I get nothing.
Nothing.
Really?
You want a Keurig machine adapter for your coffee
All I
cup.
want, it's like $12. Just give me into one of them little coffee things that I stick in the Keurig so I don't have to wash two of them.
You are
every
gonna be
morning. That's
so
all.
easy this year. It's not even
I
funny.
am easy. I'm easy people.
Just gonna stuff your stocking with dollar store candy in a Keurig cup.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
I love you.
If you're watching us for the first time, we want to thank you for watching us on local Leominster Access Television, Comcast, and Verizon. You can check your local listings for our times and dates. And also as we stream worldwide on UpForDiscussionLive.com and on MyPTVOnline.com, we want to remind you that this show is sponsored in part by Leominster Storage Solutions. Our friends over there have been sponsoring our show since the beginning, and we want to thank everybody over there for sponsoring our show and being a huge part of what we do. To find out more, you can call them at 978-466-887, or you can visit them online at LemonsterStorageSolutions.com. And, of course, every morning I start out with a Sasquatch coffee. It is one of my favorite blends, and to find out more about our sponsor and the great coffee that they make there, you can go to squatchcoffee.com. And, of course, our friends Pam and everybody over there at Mariano's Ristorante in Pepperell, Massachusetts, outstanding Italian food right outside of Boston. You don't have to make the cruise all the way to Boston anymore. Finding fine Italian right there in Pepperell. To find out more, you can call them at 978-433-6633, or you can visit them online at mariositalian.com. Now, Shannon, we have a lot to get to tonight, including your Who Does That, but I kind of have a Who Does That of my own because we talked about a little bit of an extended deal. And I know I didn't want to kind of steal your thunder or any of that, but I do have one. I got one I got to throw in there. And it has to do with the NFL. And even if you're not a sports fan, this is still going to get under your skin, and it's still going to, like, affect you in some way. Because I just got to tell you, 2 weeks ago, the New England Patriots played the New York Jets. And as the game ended, the day after, there were reports coming out that the Jets asked the NFL to sweep their locker room for bugs. Because now this is what football has come to. It is like spy
drama.
versus spy, okay? So the NFL
Moist football.
the NFL was asked by the Jets to sweep for bugs because they thought the Patriots might be spying on them, okay? Makes sense to you, right? Okay. Patriots have been Spygate and Deflategate. Well, guess what? The day before that, the New England Patriots had approached the NFL. Now, stay with me. The Pats approached the NFL the day before the team showed up and said, we want you to sweep the locker room so that nobody accuses us of doing anything in the locker room. And before any team gets here from a visiting franchise, we want you to go into the facility and sweep the locker room and be responsible for anything coming in there and vouch to the other team and go on record by saying that there's no bugs in the opposing locker room and that it's safe to enter Gillette Stadium. And now this is what football has come to, Shannon. So now it's paranoia. It's complete paranoia by
Bugs.
NFL teams. And the NFL refused. The NFL refused to sweep the locker room.
And if people in the locker room, like, first of all, they're going to say anything. It's not necessarily going to be in the locker room. Like, it'd be in a conference room or something like that. But it's just so stupid. What are they going to do? They're going to turn around and use any knowledge they caught from the locker room? Like, oh, we were spying on the locker room with bugs, and this is what we heard them saying.
Well, to that,
it's so stupid.
There are game plans that go on. There is a lot of pregame things that go on and planning for things. There are adjustments that go on during halftime. But I will say this. Now, I know you must remember the Brady Bunch.
Of course I do. Who doesn't remember the Brady Bunch?
Do you remember the episode when there was a young man that was dating Marcia just to get to Greg Brady's playbook, high school playbook? Okay? So he was kind of using Marcia, and Marcia was all giggity and gaga over the kid, and the kid was like a star of the other team and all that. But and he was just trying to get to Greg Brady's playbook. Well, guess what happened? Take a guess. What they did?
What did they do, babe? We have fruit flies in here.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they really are. Well, what they did was they swapped the playbook. They put a dummy playbook in there. So they said, haha, we know you guys are out there trying to steal our playbook, so we're going to give you the wrong playbook. So guess what? When it comes to all this crap about spy versus spy, and we're going to bug your locker room, and we're going to deflate footballs, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the New England Patriots are now 8-0. Tom Brady is absolutely got the middle finger tour going on to the rest of the NFL, and all of you haters that think it was deflated footballs that made him as great as he was last year. He has, Shannon, a half a year has gone by. He has one interception all year. He is crushing every NFL record ever set, and he is what they he's now what they call the GOAT, which is greatest of all time. And yes, like we talked about, you and I talked about this earlier, but the guy's got 4 Super Bowl rings. He's got 3 Super Bowl MVPs. He's got a beautiful wife and a beautiful house and all the money you can handle and so many of this. What is he motivated to do? Well, now you've pissed him off. now you've poked
It's got to die down, though. It's getting old.
I'll tell you, it'll die down when Roger Goodell, who is, I believe, being kept on the podium right now just for this very purpose, hands Tom Brady the Vince Lombardi trophy at the end of this year. And Tom just walks up there with a big old smile on his face and takes the trophy from Goodell. And hopefully, on the other hand, his middle finger is extended fully to the full extension, because that's what this is all about. And you see that little picture over your shoulder, Shan?
I do.
That is what they call a
Toast.
That is what they call a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Because that is the Patriots versus the rest of the NFL. It might as well be world.
Peanut butter and jealousy.
And if you don't like it, too bad. Because right now they're making an absolute statement out of the rest of the NFL. And if teams are going to think that, if it's me, if you're smarter than the other team and you can figure out an advantage, do it. That's what makes it great. I love the drama. That's what sports are about. Gain every advantage you
WWF.
can. Not cheating, but just gain every advantage you can. If you're smart enough to think that somebody's going to be in your locker room stealing your plays, leave them a dummy playbook. Watch them fall on their face. What kind of great story would that be on Monday morning? I mean, my goodness. What do you think, Shannon?
I think it's just a bunch of funny drama.
This is what it's come down
You know,
to.
you could watch a show like The View where they'd chew or something and see a bunch of like ladies cackling, gossip around a table. But the second sports guys, it's sports when you're talking about it. But like you guys gossip and just talk about drama all day.
Of course we do. Of course we do.
I'm glad he's doing well. The team's doing well. I can't wait for football to be over.
Huge part of our culture.
Yeah, I know. Obviously.
And so are these athletes. And if you look at guys like Tom Brady, who, have led a stellar career, there's no way that his name should have been put on Deflategate. And long after he's done and retired, and he sticks his middle finger up for 16-plus playoff solid weeks in this year's season, I truly hope that he makes his marks on the record books the way he should be and goes down to one of the greatest of all time.
He will.
Is.
I mean,
Truly
you've got the signed football. We're waiting for that one.
We're waiting. I'm going to retire with that.
Inflate.
That's right.
The price of that to inflate.
All right, we want to remind you guys to follow us on Twitter. I am Jeffrey L. Sylvia. She is Shannon Sylvia. And we are up for discussion right here on Twitter. And, of course, coming up next, we've got the Who Does That with Shannon Sylvia. Stick around. We'll be right back after this.
Up for discussion with Jeff and Shannon Sylvia. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Up for Discussion Live is brought to you in part by Lemonster Storage Solutions, Sasquatch Coffee, Mariano's Restaurante.
And now back to Up for Discussion right here on Fraggle Rock TV.
Hear that music, it can only mean one thing. It's that segment of the program when Shannon Sylvia asks, who does that? And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Shannon Sylvia.
All right, guys. The Who Does That segment of the show brought to you by Shannon Sylvia. First story. Jim Harbaugh has trick-or-treating advice for you. He wants you to be hustling at all times. Seriously, the Michigan coach was asked about his trick-or-treating advice in a recent interview on the news. And just like you would expect, his advice was all about maximizing your Halloween return for your candy, Jeff. Did you ever have any strategies?
I did. I used to do the pillowcase. I Dutched the little plastic orange jack-o'-lantern thing that you could only fit so much.
How is that
candy
a
in.
strategy?
Well, it worked out great because in my neighborhood, I could get around on my bike, and I used to come back with huge loads of candy.
Okay.
Massive. Worked out good for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he says that when people ask him about kids' costumes, he's been trying to advise his own children to get two different costumes to be go-getters.
Two different costumes.
You can hit the neighborhood in one costume. Better to jog and run from house to house, then you can get more candy than everyone else. Come home, make a quick change into a second costume, and do it all over again.
Really?
Yeah, that's the advice
Really?
he's
So
giving.
he's going to double dip. Now, wait a second. I will tell you that Jim Harbaugh is not only the coach of the Michigan Wolverines, he was also the coach of the Baltimore Ravens, which started the whole Deflategate crap with the Indianapolis Colts. So
He's sneaky.
there's your sign right there.
He's sneaky.
Double dipping on the Halloween candy. What a douche.
Yeah, he says he was always thinking as a kid. He was the kid with the standard white sheet as a ghost for Halloween, and as you know, it would make total sense for you to combine it with his khaki obsession. But he came up with the idea and has been pushing his kids ever since to maximize the candy returns. I have a feeling that's probably a little selfish as well.
I think so.
Who does that?
Jim Harbaugh, apparently.
You guys may have heard about this in the news. I was absolutely flabbergasted when this aired. Do you remember that traumatizing scene in Final Destination 3 where the characters get fried to death in tanning beds, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do, actually.
I mean, first of all, that wouldn't happen that way because you'd have to be in that tanning bed so long that the sunburn would actually set in, and then it starts to irritate you. So it's not like it was in the movie.
Wasn't the character that got fried a little bit vain? Like, didn't they build her up to be like
a lot of teenage girls are vain.
She was all like about her look,
yeah.
And she wore the little tight clothes, and next thing you know,
yeah.
like you were almost
she's
glad
in there
to see
with the
her fried.
headphones. La, la.
Yeah, you were almost kind of happy when she met her fate like that, right?
Of course, it was so cliche.
We all cheered a little bit inside.
The story's in reverse, however. A salon manager decides to stay inside a cryotherapy chamber. Found her 10 hours later as she froze to death.
Oh, my.
You may even be asking, what the hell is a cryotherapy chamber?
What is a
24-year-old
cryotherapy
Chelsea Ake, A.K.E., worked for the Las Vegas cryotherapy salon Rejuvenus, which promises health and beauty enhancements by blasting your body with cold air as low as minus 240 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wait a second. Now,
right.
You're a woman that likes to take care of herself. You know, you take care of your skin.
I used to.
Well, come on, really? Really?
No, this is definitely something I would not do.
You like to take care of yourself, okay? And you know, you take care of your skin. You invest in the skin products. You make sure your skin's clear. You do the hair. You know, make sure your hair is healthy. Have you ever imagined yourself somehow coming into contact with what is it, minus 200 degrees?
It's a little cold.
What exactly is that supposed to do?
Well, it was
for
developed
you?
to treat sore muscles, and
Sore
it's being used
muscles?
as a weight loss
I can see
treatment.
sore muscles.
You don't have any more muscles when they're frozen.
They get brittle and just fall right off.
Yeah, they have full body machines that do this. They've cited operator error in her death certificate. Her friend Shaylin B.
so
told
this didn't
local
go well.
reporters that she did not turn the machine off before entering it.
Oh, boy.
Medical examiners told her family that she died within seconds. It's not clear whether she suffocated or had another emergency, medical emergency, but lab results for the autopsy won't be in for many more weeks.
How old a woman? How young a woman was this?
24.
24 years old.
24 years old. Froze to death.
Does that?
That's awesome. That'll definitely prevent any more wrinkling or weight loss gain or weight gain.
So you get a 24-year-old woman that works at a place like this that doesn't have the brain power to figure out that you're not supposed to go into the thing without setting the timer. And as a result...
And no, you're supposed to turn the machine off before you go in. That's what they're saying. She didn't turn it off. She just went in and died within seconds.
200 degrees below zero. My organs are going to be okay. My heart's going to keep pumping.
Oh, what a sight that must have been the next morning. Like, an icicle.
What probably happens, they probably just swept her up with a little dustpan and brush. It's probably that bad. Yeah, it's probably just that bad. Oh my God,
this story hits close to home, Jeff.
Okay. All right.
Do you remember a friend of ours that we met who still does, we got to be careful with this story because if he hears this, we're in trouble. He's the owner of Hex in Salem.
Oh, I think
met the owner in an elevator.
I think this particular person might have even had a little
proceeded to hit on my husband.
It's kind of
gave us
an odd
free
moment.
entry to his big Halloween ball as long as my husband showed up half naked.
Not that I don't appreciate the sentiment, but I'm very happily married and very
not gay.
Heterosexual.
So a judge granted a protective order against him. He is a warlock. This was last Wednesday. Spelling relief for the Salem witch who accused him of harassment.
Okay.
Nothing like witches going at it. Talk about drama.
Witches and warlocks in court. I love
Another
it.
woman that we
love
know
this.
from having been to that shop a few times. The two squared off in court before a Salem District Court judge granted the protective order to priestess Laurie Sforza. Now, we've met Laurie, who went under the name Laurie Bruno.
Oh, really?
Laurie
So
Bruni,
no.
sorry.
Okay.
She accused the self-proclaimed warlock Christian Day of harassing her
How
over
did-
the phone and social media for 3 years.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Which we've heard of before. I mean, people do, get accused of, and people are innocent until proven guilty, but people do get accused of harassment on
Well,
social
I mean,
media,
witches have been on trial before.
right? Sure, well. yeah.
During the testimony, at times, it became heated, and Laurie accused Day of making incessant phone calls at night, humiliating her on Facebook, the Boston Globe reported. Day's lawyer countered that the dispute stems from a one-time business partnership that fell apart years ago.
Okay.
Before 2012, Day let Laurie perform psychic readings rent-free at one of his occult shops in Salem. We've seen her do that.
We have indeed.
Actually, she used to be right in front of Hex.
Yeah.
He told the Associated Press in an interview after the hearing. Their relationship fell apart when Laurie revealed plans to start her own witchcraft shop nearby. So now the two businesses are rivals all of a sudden.
Oh, imagine that.
This is a business dispute gone wrong. That's all it was, they said. They don't want to make snide remarks on Facebook. They don't want me to make snide remarks on Facebook. I won't make snide remarks on Facebook, he says.
Okay.
During the hearing, Laurie told the judge she can see into her own future, saying, "That's why I'm here today." She's 75 years old. She uses the business name Laurie Bruno and says she is a psychic witch who descends from a line of Italian witches.
Italian witches.
She's also the leader of a pagan church here in Salem. Day, who is 45 years old, now lives in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Owns
that's right.
occult shops in Salem and New Orleans, both of whom we've been to. Described on his website as the world's best-known warlock, which he organizes the Festival of the Dead in Salem, a series of Halloween events every year.
Which is pretty cool.
Pair made headlines in 2011 when they cast spells together to try to heal actor Charlie Sheen, who called himself a Vatican assassin warlock, during an interview
Well, that
on
failed
national
miserably.
television. Yeah, I don't think
Poor
you
Charlie
can
Sheen.
heal crazy.
There's no healing there. No, there's none.
And the judge hearing the case said he was dismayed by the volume of late-night calls Day made to Laurie. After hearing the decision, Day, who wouldn't testify, denied making the calls, then stormed out of the courthouse, according to the Globe. He told reporters that he would appeal the order. "I'm going to fight this every step of the way because it's unjust," he said. Salem, which is the home of the 17th century witch trials, has a tourism industry built around the occult that reaches fever pitch in October, drawing many thousands of visitors.
It does.
Who does that?
Now, this sounds like
Hey.
maybe, humor me this. You have two businesses, right?
Yeah.
A business from somebody that, is operating the business for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have another person who wanted to be involved in the business but ended up not getting involved and starting their own business. What does that sound like to you, Shannon? Does that sound like maybe
Sounds like a lot of places around here.
how about maybe a local cake shop here downtown that had your services offered to them once? Now, humor me that there was a cake shop that you wanted to work for once. And
Right.
We're not going to name any
Free of
names.
charge.
Free of charge. Volunteer, because you hadn't even made your first cake in our oven yet. You were just kind of
I just
tootling
wanted
around.
to- I just
you
wanted
had
to do
gone
it.
to the class. You, of course, went to art school, so your artist skills were not in question. You are
I got a 4-year degree in art.
Amazing artist. So here you are. You want to volunteer time for a local cake shop.
Yep.
And of course, you tried to go down there on a couple of occasions.
I did.
And it fell through. It fell through because there was no planning, there was no communication.
Right.
And as a result, you said, screw this. I'm
Did
going to
my
open
own
my
thing.
own cake shop.
Made me work even harder.
So you opened Shan Cakes
I
at
did.
360 at Central Street here in Leominster.
Yep.
And as a result of that, there's been like bashing on Facebook.
Yep.
There's been like
There's
just
been court trials.
terrible thing. There's been court trials. There's been restraining orders that have been lifted and not lifted and granted and not granted.
Yeah.
All because somebody wanted to work for somebody else.
And pay taxes. And
And
be an average American.
volunteer for somebody else.
Right.
And the other person wouldn't give them the time of day. So
Snooze, you
you
lose.
went out and did your own thing.
Yeah.
I call that admirable. I call that passion. I call that's what America is about. If you love something, go out and do it.
Yep.
And if you can't do it for someone else, do it for yourself.
Yep.
What's wrong with that?
You would think that would be
What's wrong with that?
allowable and just drama-free, Jeff. You would think, but people get their panties in a wad over jealousy. That's what happened here with Mr. Day and Laurie.
Wow.
Jealous of the business next door, and greed, and jealousy. It's a bad thing.
Well, there seems to be a lot of that going around. But what isn't going around now is the gratitude and graciousness that people have around the holidays. And, of course, we are coming up to Thanksgiving, the forgotten holiday. But let's not forget that when it comes to local families and people in need. And we do have a group that was on here with us a couple of weeks ago called Mustard Seed. And what they are doing is they are going around and collecting food for local families here in the Leominster area to put together plates for Thanksgiving dinner for families that can't afford to do it themselves. And it's a fantastic cause. We want to make sure that we are supporting this cause. And anybody that wants to give to this cause can do so at City Hall, or they can find out more information on Facebook. And also they can send an email to fromamustardseed@gmail.com. Now, it can be anything. It could be any form of food that you would get for Thanksgiving dinner. It could be a can of cranberry sauce. It could be, some stuffing in a box. It could be gravy in a can. Everybody needs things for Thanksgiving, and we take things for granted. We take for granted that great turkey and stuffing and all the fixings and all the veggies and the family that comes with it. But you know what? There are families right here in our local area that go without. And, Shannon, we've met a wonderful young lady, Kylie's Care Kits for Kids. Kylie McCumber does a tremendous job. She's now worldwide. Started right here in Leominster as a young kid, and now she's feeding tons of families here in town and helping out families now around the world. She's been around the world doing this stuff, so it's very, very cool. And again, we want to encourage you guys to maybe dig a little deeper this holiday season and help out somebody that's a little less fortunate than you. And gracious are those that are doing this for families out there. And we want to make sure that we give them all the help we can. And again, to find out more, you can find out more on Facebook at Mustard Seed, or you can email them at fromamustardseed.com. Now, Shannon, when we come back, I know you kind of been blowing smoke up my ass here, but we do play the game all the time when we look at somebody and we say, yeah, they look like so-and-so, and they look like so-and-so. Well, we're going to play that game in a little bit because we're going to be talking about doppelgangers.
Fun.
All right, guys. Stick around. You're watching Up for Discussion Live. We'll be right back after this.
It's okay to cheat on your same old network with us. We won't tell.
Ay, 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 ay. I am the Frito Bandito. I like Fritos corn chips. I love them, I do. I want Fritos corn chips. I'll get them from you. Hey, how about a nice Hawaiian punch? Sure.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop?
Let's find out. 1, 2, 3.
How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Mamma mia, that's some species. Cut spicy meatballs, Jack. Sorry.
Take 28.
Out, Tony, and action. Mamma mia, that's a spicy meatball. Cut. What was the matter with that? The accent. Cut. Cut. Micey, micey, ballsy, ballsy. Cut.
Take 59.
And action.
Sometimes you eat more than you should. And when it's spicy besides, Mamma Mia, do you need Alka-Seltzer?
Sooner or later, you're going to try a white owl.
And when you do, we gotcha.
I love football, and I love relaxing. Because for me, relaxing always includes Skoal, the smokeless tobacco. Just a pinch between my cheek and gum gives me great tobacco taste without lighting up. Got the sea, the breeze, got my Skoal. Nothing's gonna make me move. Think I'll play some touch. Skoal, brother.
Bert, what do you say to Martini and Rossi?
Yes. Yes. To Martini and Rossi on the rubbers. Say yes.
Yeah.
Let Moxie Marco in your face. So Mr. won't.
Butter.
What was that?
Butter.
Parquet margarine.
Butter.
No, parquet. It says right on your lid, parquet margarine.
Butter.
Parquet. Smooth, delicious. Butter.
Parquet.
But surely, Starkist don't want tunas with good taste. Starkist wants tunas that taste good.
That's for me.
Sorry, Charlie.
You can't get away with the crunch, because the crunch always gives you away.
Get Quake.
Crisp is better. Fellas, why not leave it to the kids out there? Take sides with either Quake or Quisp.
Or Quake.
Or Quisp. 2 new cereals from Quaker.
What's this stuff? Some cereal. It's supposed to be good for you. Did you try it? I'm not going to try it. You try it. I'm not going to try it. Let's get Mikey. Yeah. He won't eat it. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Anticipation. To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Say that again. To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, onions, pickles, onions.
To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
McDonald's Big Mac, the great big sandwich with a great big taste.
Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce, special orders don't upset us. All we ask is that you let us serve it your way.
When you're laughing and smiling and shooting the breeze, when you wanna let loose and be as free as you please, let yourself go to Pizza Hut. Let yourself go to Pizza Hut.
9 Lives presents Morris.
The castle's almost finished, Your Majesty.
Good. Reserve the dungeon for yourself.
Hey everyone, this is Scott Rothenfield from Queensrÿche, and you're watching Terror Rock TV.
Welcome back to the program where everything is up for discussion. We are on Veterans Day weekend, and once again, we want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that has served for our country, for our freedoms and our liberties, that has sacrificed and done what they have done for all of us here. We thank you. And Shannon, you and I always talk, whether you want to admit it or not, about people that look like other people. We look on TV and say so-and-so looks like so-and-so will be sitting in a restaurant. And, you know, I might get pissed off at you because I'm trying to have dinner and you're looking at the guy.
Oh,
like,
people
3 rows
watching.
back and people watching, and you say so-and-so. Well, I'm convinced that there are, like, only so many faces in this entire world, and some of them have been transplanted on others. Now, this is kind of a who does that. Like, imagine getting on an airplane, okay? You're gone through security, and you've gone through ticketing, and you've gotten your airline pass, and you're going through, and you go down the tunnel, and you get on the airplane, and you sit on the airplane, and you look over, and you see somebody that looks exactly like you. That's not related to you. Wearing the same colors, sporting the same beard, having the same expression on their face. These are 2 guys that knew nothing about each other until this fateful day. No, they're not identical twins. They're not related.
Complete
They've
strangers.
never even known each other existed until they sat down next to each other in adjacent airline seats. And there, my friends, is the, the
just can't believe
definition
it.
of a doppelganger. Is that unbelievable?
And they're not even like 14 rows apart, with the
No,
guy
they're-
would just be going to the
sitting
bathroom and be
right
like,
next
oh,
to
that guy
him.
looks like me. No, they're sitting next to each other. I don't understand. I don't think that was a coincidence. When the plane landed, they both found each other in the same hotel, sitting at the same bar.
Wow. Holy shit.
What are the chances? I mean, that's cosmic, like, fringe stuff right there.
Well, you know what I go to is of course you had to go through
alternate
security,
world.
right? you had to go through security.
Yeah.
right? So
They
the first
should
guy
use each
goes
other's
through,
ID.
The first guy goes through and he's, Adam Schwartz, whoever the hell he is. He's Adam Schwartz,
Right.
and he goes through. And then like 5 minutes later, in comes Sean McNulty, who has the same exact photo with a different ID. What do you think the guys of course, TSA is failing 95% of weapons going through. Do you think
One's
they
from
ever had a
Oregon,
flag?
one's from California, yeah.
Do you think they ever had a flag for something like that, or you think they just let them
I don't
sneak
know.
right through?
Who knows? I mean, that picture is incredible.
That's
I've done some research, and I've seen some other doppelgangers that are. I mean, I have serious NyQuil inside of me right now. I can't even speak. There's others out there. I mean, there's people. There's actually, what was it called? Twinstrangers.com.
Twin strangers. That's a good
I
way
think
to put
it's
it.
twinstrangers.com. You can actually put in all your characteristics, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, twinstrangers.com. You can set up a free account and then put in all your exact characteristics and see if there's somebody out there that looks just like you.
Well,
and try to find your twin across the world.
Have you ever been accused or been said that you had a doppelganger in any way?
People have always said, "Oh, you look like someone I've seen before," but I've never met that person, or I don't have a clue. Usually, it's a stupid Z-list celebrity I look
When
like.
I first met you, when you had the blonde hair, we used to go for Shakira.
It was the hair. It was the hair. It was the long spiral curls. It was only the hair. I don't look like Shakira. I wish I did.
Well, I actually have been accused of having a
yes,
doppelganger.
you have. You have a doppelganger.
I do.
Let's hear
I do.
all about it.
I have been chased through an airport, and Shannon, as my witness, I have been approached in no less than 7 or 8 different states from around the country. My doppelganger is Dave Draymond from Disturbed. And if you look at the photos, people now we're talking like some of my best friends, people that I grew up with.
That's such an old picture.
My buddy Dennis LaSalle, who had went to a concert, said, I know you, I know your characteristics, I know your personality, I know the looks on your face, I've known you my whole life, and I'm sitting up there watching Disturbed, thinking that I'm watching you the entire night. I mean, it was just it was uncanny. Now, of course, I'm not the only doppelganger in music. Shannon, you know who this is. We have Will Ferrell, and who's that?
The tennis player. I don't know his name, but
Isn't
he's a tennis
he a drummer
player.
for somebody?
Oh, maybe he's a drummer.
Why don't you look it up real quick? Because I thought you'd know this already. He's a drummer for a band. So that's Will Ferrell, and he's
Harry Carey.
No, it's not Harry Carey. Harry Carey was the
I don't
announcer
know.
for the Chicago
I'm just looking
Cubs,
up
for
like what
God's
came
sakes.
up in the search.
Will Ferrell, doppelganger, musician. Well, you know what? We've been giving away
Fallon.
We've been giving away books, right? So let's give away a book for who can name the doppelganger. How's that? We'll give away a couple of books tonight for people that are watching.
Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's the drummer, right? No, he's not. Is he the drummer?
Yeah.
Okay. So there you have the drummer from the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Will Ferrell, who looks exactly
It's awesome.
like him,
It's awesome.
right? That I mean, not only the same face, but the same expression,
awesome.
and I mean the same nose, the same characteristics.
It's awesome.
That's amazing.
Who else we got?
Well, let me ask you something. Do you believe that this also leads a lot to point to reincarnation and things like that? Do you believe in reincarnation?
I'm starting to.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of.
Why is that?
Just from what I've seen toddlers, documentaries and research documents about small children that keep recalling facts from the past and saying that they're not really who their parents are calling them. And I mean, I haven't had any firsthand experience with reincarnation at all. I mean, people can be, woo, you've had a prior life as an Egyptian pharaoh. I hate that. Everybody wants to be a pharaoh in a former life. They're always somebody important. They're not like unimportant.
Well,
but
you know, I mean, there is a consensus out there that there's only so many faces given to us by, you know, we watch Ancient Aliens all the time and things like that. If we were indeed a creation of something other than, you know, what we've believed to be a Christian God, perhaps there are, you know, reasons for these doppelgangers. And if we look at reincarnation, it's tough to argue with Henry David Thoreau and Ellen DeGeneres.
That's bad.
It's hard to argue with that.
Look
Henry
at that.
David Thoreau and Ellen DeGeneres.
That's
What do you think?
bad.
I mean, not only like
We should put a beard on her and
we talked
Photoshop
about,
this
like,
puppy
you
right
know,
up.
we're watching, you know, the American Horror Story freak show now with the bearded lady. I think they could have really like had this whole thing going on with Henry David Thoreau, bearded, would be Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, the same part in the hair, the same expression, the same eyes. That's uncanny. the same everything. Now, you're a big Ellen fan. I mean, is that a stretch or
no? It's uncanny.
If you were to take the beard away, would you not agree?
I mean, she's not a natural blonde either. I mean, she's lightening her hair, so
probably shave the beard and tint the hair a little bit, and there you go.
maybe
right?
she was a man in a former life.
You never know.
Never know.
You never know.
Same
All right.
suit.
Let's check out a couple others. We have President Barack Obama and his doppelganger.
No way.
Apparently a little bit younger guy.
Jesus.
But yeah, pretty much the same expressions on his face. Of course, they had to put him in a suit. You know, young guy. I wonder if any of these people do like appearances for him. You know, because they all have body doubles and stuff.
All they had to do is just like touch up his eyebrows slightly, just get him
Just a little
waxed
bit.
a little bit towards the thin him out a little bit.
Just
Oh
a
my
little
God.
bit. And of course, we all knew Keanu Reeves. And there's
Really?
there's
Yeah,
a doppelganger.
a little bit.
Way back.
Keanu's eyes are a little bit more serious.
A little more Chinesey, if you would.
Yeah.
But still, you know,
Same
resemblance is
shape
uncanny.
face. And, you know, of
Uncanny.
course, you got the goatee and the hair. That helps, too.
Of course. Uncanny resemblance.
What else we
And,
get?
We have John Travolta.
Really?
And there's
No
I
way.
mean, how can you mistake
Come
the face
on.
of John Travolta? Now, John Travolta is one of those iconic faces going way back to Vinnie Barbarino. And,
That's crazy.
Yeah, really. I mean, seriously.
I've never
same
seen
lips.
that one. I've seen the Nicolas Cage
A little
one.
different on the butt chin, but outside of that, same
I don't know.
facial
It's hard to tell in that
expressions,
photo.
Same everything.
Wow.
And we all are familiar with Eddie Murphy. How's that for Eddie Murphy?
That is Eddie Murphy.
That is Eddie Murphy.
They're both Eddie Murphy.
No, they're not both Eddie
Bullshit.
Murphy. They're not both Eddie Murphy.
Bullshit.
That's Eddie Murphy.
Who's the
and
guy
his
on the
doppelganger.
left?
That's a good question. We'll have to look it up. But that
Are you
is-
freaking kidding me?
No, amazing.
Oh my God.
Isn't that something else?
I think that's Eddie Murphy in an old photo.
No, that's not.
Bull.
And of course, we know Hugh Laurie from House, Dr. House.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
There's Dr. House. Right
Are
there.
you kidding me?
Dr. House.
I
is
haven't
doppelganger.
seen these yet.
So it's hard to believe. I mean, you know, people look just like.
Do you
these
have the
people.
Nicolas Cage one?
I don't have the Nicolas Cage
Ah,
one.
come
but,
on. That one's unbelievable.
What we do have, Shannon, is this one right here. How's that?
Come on, Paul Walker.
I mean, same facial expressions. That is just creepy, huh?
They have, of course, you have to like scour the internet looking for that same pose and the tilt of the face. Wow.
Pretty damn creepy.
Wow.
So.
We should continue this because there's a great deal of like normal people who aren't celebrities that have doppelgangers that I
There
have
are
some
indeed.
pretty good pictures of.
I'll tell you what, the best doppelganger, if we can find a photo of a normal person, let's call it non-celebrity
person.
person, that has a great celebrity photo, let's pop it in there and we'll give away a prize
Yeah.
for that. What do you think?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I'm tired.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. We want to thank all of you for joining us, not only around the world, as we stream live on upfordiscussionlive.com and myptvonline.com, but also watching us on the big screen on Comcast and Verizon at Lemonster.tv. We thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
And for all of you and our crew here, we want to thank you for joining us. And until next week, we'll see you next time.
See you next Tuesday, guys.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Thanksgiving.